Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Wednesday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we know that the Los Angeles Lakers were in action on yesterday, taking on none other than the New Orleans Pelicans in a highly anticipated matchup for those out in Lakerland who are paying close attention to the standings, knowing how important this game could be for the Lakers after they already gave up a game against the against the New York Knicks just the other day. So they were looking to bounce back. And on yesterday in the pregame show, I said that they would, and that they would probably lead this game from wire to wire, in which they did. But also in my pregame, I said that Brandon Ingram was listed as questionable. I did say that that doesn't mean it's not probable. It's questionable, and it definitely wasn't out. So questionable doesn't mean doubtful. And exactly, he showed up to play against the Lakers because we know how important it is to him to try to make the playoffs for a second year after he played an integral part in keeping the Lakers out of the play-in last year and finding themselves in a playoff position on last year. And of course, he's been doing a lot of this without Zion Williams. But with all that said, he did show up, but he did not show out. And I said, even if he were to play, it would not matter because the Lakers have a Vanderbilt who can stabilize him and be a great wing defender and take a lot of that load off other players, such as Anthony Davis or LeBron James, if he were to be in that lineup. And that's why it's going to be very important when LeBron James does return that Vanderbilt plays a key role in defending, because we know that since the trade deadline, since the Lakers made this move, that the Lakers have been 9-4 against whoever their opponents are. So that's not a small sample size, ladies and gentlemen. That is 13 games where the Lakers have been 9-4. 3 of those were with LeBron James and the rest have been without. But that shows you what the Lakers are able to do. And they won a lot of these games in a lot of different ways, which is the best part about it, because sometimes you're going to run into adversity and you're going to have to win a game in a different way, just like the games where AD went to the Toronto game, where they really didn't allow him to get the ball and took him out of the game plan, and the other players allowed you to be successful. Now, we do know, those of you who don't know, that Anthony Davis will not be playing against the Houston Rockets tonight in that matchup, the second night of a back-to-back. Darvin Ham did elect and say that it was an organizational decision, even though Davis has been playing pain-free, to keep him out of the lineup. Put down in the comments if you agree or disagree with that. I think maybe he could still play, but maybe he could just limit the minutes perhaps. But of course, you don't want to ruin him for next season, or anything could happen. So better to stay safe than sorry. And of course, you do want him for the playoff push. So with the standings being that close, with that amount of games, if it was maybe 4 games left or something like that, then you probably would see Anthony Davis go against that and still come in and play, because I think it means that much to him that he wants to put his stamp on the game and be great and have his jersey raised in the stands alongside Paul Gasol and other Lakers greats, such as Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, and all the others Laker greats. But let's just talk, before we talk about the matchup tonight against Houston without Anthony Davis and what the Lakers are going to do to be able to contend and win that game, is we're going to talk about what happened on yesterday. And the Lakers came out very quickly with the 14-0 lead. And I don't know if it was Malik Beasley, if he had watched the video, had watched the show from the other day when I was saying, Malik, it might be time to take him out of the starting lineup and put in a Austin Reeves. And it wasn't just coming from me, but it was coming from a lot of other people in the media and other fans as well on social media, demanding that Austin Reeves go into that starting lineup, because Austin Reeves is somebody who is more capable of getting their shot more so than Malik Beasley. He comes off a lot of screens and people create shots for him, and he doesn't create a lot for others. And Austin Reeves does, especially in pick and roll situations. But at the end of the day, AR can still come off the bench. He's doing a great job either way. But if Malik Beasley can shoot the way he did on yesterday, then I say, hey, you heard the murmurs, you heard the chirping. That's good to see. Go on the road in a tough environment like down in the boot and take out those Pelicans. I mean, who he coming, gunning, running, you understand me? And he did his thing. And if you see, Malik Beasley last night had 24 points, 2 rebounds, even had him 3 assists, which is not always like him, like I said, to create for others. But overall, 8 out of 16. eight out of 16 from the field, 50%. He was 7 out of 12 from three. We know he had a game like that early on, and that's what we come to expect. But then he kind of fizzled out. But of course, it seems like maybe he's back. Anthony Davis said that he put up a lot of those shots during the course of shooting rounds prior to. And speaking of shooting rounds, baby, speaking of shooting rounds, did you see who was out there putting up them free throws? None other than LeBron James. And LeBron James put himself in the hyperbaric chamber. And you saw on yesterday, he put the picture up there like your boy Vegeta. And he said, hey, I'm coming back soon. So I think he can feel it coming. And of course, all these haters, I mean, we're not going to mention even the PEDs. LeBron don't clap back at people. If that's the case, he'd had something to say to Skip Bayless a long time ago. You know what I mean? People got to bow down to something that's greater than them. So LeBron is not even worried about it. You know, sometimes you don't respond to people like that. You just show, hey, I'm not concerned about it, because if you even respond to it, you felt a need for a response, then maybe they might be on to something, but they not. So why worry about it? I always said that. I always live my life that way, not worried or concerned about the thoughts of others who, you know, may be praying for my downfall and wish ill will upon me. That's why I always sign off every show right on to the real. Much love to these haters. So I'm sure LeBron is sending them all that positive love, because when you give out that positive energy, you always gonna get it back, and you're gonna get nothing but positive energy from me. But as we continue to talk about the game, the Lakers, this was a very important game. The reason why this game was very important as well was now the Lakers own the tiebreaker over the Pelicans. And I think that is very important because you never know if you end up tied with them, because the first thing that they look at when it comes to tiebreakers is head-to-head matchups. If you tied in head-to-head matchups, which they're not, the Lakers do have an edge on that 2-1. I think they only played 3 times because they're not in the same division. But the next thing they look at is division games, and then they look at conference games if you tie for the division. And of course, you know, the Lakers are in probably the hardest division in basketball, taking on, of course, Sacramento, who's been great this year. Of course, Golden State, you got Portland, you know, the Pacific Division. It is what it is, you know, but at the end of the day, if you look at other teams, that, you know, are within that division or also have a record, you got to look at the Pelicans as one of the teams that the Lakers could potentially be tied with. Currently, they are on the outside looking in, but if you look at the remaining teams that are in contention, so I broke it down between Minnesota, OKC, Dallas, Utah, Clippers, and Golden State. And the reason why I put the Clippers and Golden State in there is very important, because they currently sit at the 5th and the 6th seed. And of course, the Lakers are only 2 games behind them to get either that 5th or the 6th seed. So that is something that's still possible with, I believe, 14 games left now, or either 15, but that is something that is still possible. But if that's going to happen, then the Clippers and Golden State definitely need to start losing some games. Now, the Clippers take on Golden State tonight at home in a home game. And we know that Golden State has been not very capable of winning games on the road. Golden State, they got to play the Clippers tonight. Then they have to go to Atlanta, even though who is that, Minnesota, who demolished Atlanta the other night when you were hoping that they would fall. So we don't know how that'll work out. But I think Atlanta is a team that kind of could match up well with them. But then they have to go to Memphis. We know they struggles against Memphis. They have to go to Dallas. Not sure if Luka will be back in the matchup by then. But then they have the Phillies, the Pelicans, and Minnesota, 3 teams who are very hungry to get in. But I just feel like the Golden State Warriors are on the rise. It's that time of the year where they're going to fight and scratch out every victory that they can, especially with Steph Curry playing as great as he is. To me, in my opinion, Steph Curry is one of the all-time greats who will probably champion his team into the playoffs without having to be in a play-in tournament. So the team that you would really look out for to fall out of that, and, you know, Golden State could end up being in the play-in tournament. I don't know. That is a pretty tough schedule. Like I said, you know, they could fall to some of those teams, especially they got at Memphis, I think, twice on the road. But the Clippers is a team that I look at because they got Golden State tonight. If Golden State can pull off that victory, that takes the Clippers down to 34 losses, only 1 loss ahead in the losing standing against the Lakers. Then the Clippers will have Orlando, not too hard, but then they have Portland, you know, who might still, they're fighting for it, even though they've kind of played themselves almost out of contention. But I'm sure that they will still, because Chauncey Billups is going to be coaching for his job damn near at this point, because Damian Lillard is not happy, and I'm sure he's going to be fighting and scratching for his playoff life as well. But then the Clippers have 2 games in a row at OKC. And either two things are going to happen, one or two things, and either way it'll be good for the Lakers is the Clippers can lose both those games against OKC, and that'll help the Lakers, or, you know, if OKC loses both games, that still helps the Lakers because currently the Lakers, even though they won, they're 10th, basically with the same exact record as OKC, but they don't own the tiebreaker against them. So that's going to be a very important game. I want to say the Lakers they have another very important game coming up against OKC. I want to say probably in another week or so on March the 24th. It's going to be the Lakers. Yes, it's going to be March the 24th, OKC against the Lakers, and that's going to be determine the tiebreaker. So that's going to be a very important game. If the Lakers end up tied with OKC, they win that game, then they good to go. And of course, by that time, LeBron James might be getting closer to return. So we don't know. But like I said, the Lakers been 9-4 since the trade. We're going to talk more about the matchup between the Lakers and Houston here in a little bit. But, you know, going back to the game on yesterday, D'Lo didn't necessarily have his best performance. And, you know, it was good to see, even though he didn't have his best performance, to see Malik Beasley pick him up. Like I said, Malik Beasley was a plus 18 last night, shot 58% from three. Like I said, probably going to keep his starting job after that performance. And then you have D'Lo, who only shot 5 out of 15, 33%. He was 3 from 9 from three, also 33%. So how you like that? But more importantly, he was a plus 26 on the floor, which actually led the team. And of course, that's because he did spend a lot of time on the floor with Anthony Davis and Malik Beasley as well. But at the end of the day, you were hoping that the Lakers could have kept that 30-point lead. Anthony Davis played a lot of minutes, especially down the stretch, as New Orleans tried to play themselves back in the game, because we know in this NBA, no lead is safe. And they eventually were trying to work their way back in the game. Of course, D'Lo did make that great play of where he turned it over, but actually got the steal back at half court, was fouled, and went to the line to put them up, I think, by 15, because they were about to cut it to 11 or potentially 10 with a three-point shot, and who knows, the crowd would have erupted. But there were a couple of plays like that in which D'Lo definitely did step up, even though numbers-wise he didn't have his best game. But that plus 26, like I said, led all players. That's the best stat you could have overall if you really just sit back and think about it. Jared Vanderbilt, he was 0 from 2 from 3. Really don't like him shooting a lot of threes. But if you open, sometimes take that shot, because you never know. You know, you might make it, especially the corner ones. I'm fine with him shooting those, just not too many. He had 4 points, more importantly, 8 rebounds. Troy Brown, he bounced back. He was 3 out of 5. He was 2 out of 3 from 3, 68% from 3 for Troy Brown, who had an abysmal game against the New York Knicks. More importantly, Troy Brown played great defense, and he was a plus 19 overall in the game. And of course, let's not forget Austin Reeves, 14, 4, and 5. He was 4 out of 5, shot 80%. He was 3 from 4 from 3, 75%. All the Lakers just caught fire in the first half. And then you look at it once again, I don't know the statistics on this. I'm going to have to look it up and research this, but it seems like the Lakers, ever since the trade deadline, and they had addition by subtraction by getting rid of Westbrook and Pat Bev, and Thomas Bryant, who could not play pick and roll defense to save his life. And look at Denver getting smacked around last night because neither him or Jokic can play pick and roll defense to save their life. People going to Euro step past them all day long to the basket. That's why the Lakers, especially the new look Lakers, is not concerned, especially if they get LeBron James. They mess around and match up with the Denver. Man, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not losing confidence. Even when the Lakers lose and everybody jump right back off the bandwagon, what do I say? And what have I been saying? Especially since the trade, the Lakers have everything they need. Point guard who can handle the ball, make great decisions, and shoot from beyond the arc. LeBron James, I don't even need to say what he can do and what he's capable of. We all know that. Malik Beasley, a great three-point shooter. Vanderbilt, the glue guy who can go do what Pat Bev can do, but better, and has length. And, of course, you can bring AD, of course, as center. Then you got Hachimura, who can come off the bench and be a great wing defender. And his mid-range has been looking good. And his three's been looking good. He was actually 4 out of 7 last night, 57%. But he was 2 from 3 from 3, 67%, had 12 points. He was one of the 5 players I just spoke about who was in double digits. So I think the Lakers have everything, what it takes, Wayne and Gabriel. But that's going to be very interesting tonight as the Lakers take on Houston, because Jabari Parker It's the first rookie since Hakeem on the Houston team to have 3 2010 games in a row. He recently did that. Houston has won 3 out of the last 6 games. One of those against the Boston Celtics, who we know are a very good team, one of the best teams, and probably one of the top 3 or 4 teams, maybe 1 through 4 in the NBA. And they were able to take them out and take care of business. Even when the Celtics thought they showed signs of life late in the game, they still kept them out. I didn't watch that game, but I was kind of looking at it on the ticker, and I was looking, and I had to click and see. I'm like, is Tatum playing? Is Brown playing? And yes, they were. And you saw what happened. So, the Lakers still had confidence to go out and do what they need to do. Luckily for the Lakers, they probably looked at that matchup and they knew which game to play AD in, just like last time. Remember, the last back-to-back, and then they set them out on the second night of the back-to-back against OKC, and they lost. And they won against OKC without Anthony Davis, and they, answered all their critics and was able to win. So hopefully they can do that tonight against the Houston Rockets, because it's been a while since the Lakers have been 500, and the win tonight will put them at 500 and put them in place to be where they need to be. So, when the Lakers take on Houston tonight, Jabari Parker is going to be getting that start at center. So I think they can afford to play small. He's not the biggest of centers. I think Wayne and Gabriel are either Vanderbilt or however they do it. I expect to see a lot of threes getting jacked up tonight from both sides of teams. It's gonna be a high tempo game. If the Lakers fall, it is what it is. I would hope that they do not fall and that they can still pull this game out, because Houston is, I won't say abysmal, but they're just not a very good team from top to bottom. And I still feel like with the two experienced point guards such as Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, that they'll be able to get others involved and get them going if Malik Beasley can stand. Sometimes a second night of a back-to-back is good for a streaky, I won't say streaky shooter, but for a shooter like Malik Beasley, who found that rhythm on yesterday. He can continue to go out and add to that rhythm tonight. And if they can go out and keep the Houston crowd quiet, because I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of purple and gold jerseys in the building against Houston tonight. So, the Lakers going to keep pushing. I think they can do what they need to do, and of course, the Celtics are at the Wolves tonight. Hopefully the Celtics, they did take care of business against Houston. Hopefully they'll be angry and come out and take care of business against Minnesota tonight. That's really going to help the Lakers. But kind of going back to what I was saying about the other teams that the Lakers must contend with, like a Dallas, the Lakers don't really want to end up tied with them, because they don't own the tiebreaker. Even if they beat Dallas in the next couple of days when they play them, I think Friday night, that would just make them 2-2 against Dallas. So then you would look at the division record, and of course, they don't. The Lakers' division record, I think, is like 5-9. So the Lakers, they shouldn't be able to beat many teams with the division record that they have when it comes to tiebreakers. So that's something they need to look at, is head-to-head battles. And I don't think they'll be able to have a head-to-head battle against against Minnesota, because they've already lost the last game to them. So even if they win the next game against them, it'll still be 2-1. So they don't have the tiebreaker against Minnesota, but they do have it against the Pelicans. So that game, like I said, was important. Utah schedule, who just lost to Miami in the backbreaker the other night. I did see that game, and it came down to the wire. Jimmy Bucket showed up big at the end, but they got to go to Boston. They got Sacramento, Portland, the Bucks, the Kings, the Suns, the Celtics, and the Nets all up. I think Utah out of there. Utah is out of there. And, out of all these teams that's left in the play-in tournament, the Lakers most definitely got it sold up. So when LeBron James comes back, he already liking what he see. I'm pretty sure he's been involved in film sessions, and they about to get it going. Him and D'Lo already got the handshake. LeBron gave him that young ice water in his veins. You understand me? So, like I always say, the Lakers going to keep on pushing, but they about to put the league on notice. And when LeBron James returns, it's really only one team that may frighten me. And I had said Memphis before, but with Ja being gone, I'm just not sure how that's going to happen. But I'm starting to think them Golden State Warriors, they've been doing all this without Wiggins. So once Wiggins comes back, which he's been gone for a while, and who knows what's plagued him mentally to be gone for so long. But, you do have to be in game shape. So I hope he's staying in shape while he's out, whatever he's doing, because it's hard to get your legs back under you when you have such a long break without playing NBA basketball. So at the end of the day, man, it's going to be great. I plan to hope y'all tune in every single day. We're going to be talking about the playoffs, all kinds of teams, and of course, not only the Lakers, but other teams as well. It's going to be very exciting. 40 games and 40 nights. It's the favorite time of the year for your boy, the NBA playoffs. So y'all join me. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, more importantly, so you don't miss out on any episodes. And as always, right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.